everyone. This is Brooke with the National Plus Coalition, and tonight you are tuned in to Free the Guys, a Plus production. We have your host, Brother Bernard from Alabama, who is currently incarcerated there, and Brother Nat Turner, who is incarcerated in Mississippi. And we also have a guest, K.O., who has just returned home from being incarcerated in Mississippi. Brother Bernard, you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm just hard. Just glad that I'm at the farm. I'm glad to get on the mountain. So, just thank God to be there. Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Let's get on another night time. Just let me know if you can let me say this.
Mr. Nat Turner, are you with us?
Yes, yeah.
You want to start tonight off while you're fixing his connection issue?
Say that again.
Would you like to start us off while he's dealing with his connection issues?
I'm having trouble hearing you also. I'm not right.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, I said, would you like to start tonight off while he's dealing with his connection issues?
Okay. Well, okay, I've been locked up over 27 years. And in those 27 years, I've been to over 6 different facilities, 30 years, taking any conditions here in the facility. It's been very critical to inmate health. It's very humane, and I have been fighting all my life ever since I stepped foot inside the prison system. Over the years, I've had help. Over the years, I've done it by myself. I've accomplished a lot in 27 years. And I'm looking for more help out there. I know there's other people out there that's seeing some of the very damn conditions that are going on in prison, and I know everybody talking about it. All right.
Do you want to tell us about the conditions of the prisons that you have been incarcerated in?
Okay. Well, starting off with Parchment. Parchment has been in a very serious terrible condition ever since 2006. Holes are in the walls, in the ceiling, pipes busted, toilet leaking. Some of this occurs after shakedown, some of this occurs by hands of inmates. But what I mean by after shakedown is that you have like K9 or field out, which is officers who would come in and shake down and they would tear holes in the buildings looking for contraband. And that was made it worse. That happened not just in Parkland, but also other prisons I've been in. It's very common in this city. I know I had experience in 2016 where a guy where the Unit 29 kitchen in Parkland was in so bad in need of fixing up that they had to close the kitchen down and completely gutted and rewind everything. This also has happened recently in the housing units in Unit 29. So it's real bad here in Mississippi. Even right now, you have a lot of prisons out here. A lot of prisons don't have drink running water. A lot of prisons, showers are not working. Showers are running too much. Toilets are running too much. Toilets are leaking. It's very bad in Mississippi. And the prison officials, they would walk around and see these conditions, and They act like it's common. It's an everyday thing. They don't try to get a fix or nothing. And that's the biggest problem in this, that the prison officials do not care about how inmates live.
That was one of the things that I noticed when I worked at Park. That there would have issues like with toilets not flushing and different things, and they wouldn't fix them. They didn't care. And then the maintenance, a lot of people don't know, are actually pew support. They're inmates. And so when they've got them on lockdown, there's no one to fix anything.
Right. Yeah.
Now, is that how it is in all of the institutions that you've been in?
No, something. I've been in Mississippi correctional facility, and they don't have inmates working. They have a guy from the prison doing nights, but it's still the same outcome.
Mr. Bernard, can you hear us? Do you want to chime in and tell us a little bit about Alabama?
Yes, ma'am. I think society as a whole knows and realize the force of the conditions of prisoners in the United States, Alabama, Mississippi, and throughout the country. It's just that I don't think they realize the severity, the damage that it caused, because a lot of these inmates return to society. And if you hold an inmate in conditions like the conditions we live in, like very hot temperatures, these rain, violent dormitories, drug-infested prisons, as in the case of Alabama, when you hold a person, a normal human being, in prison centers, like I said, with inadequate medical care, mental health care, rehabilitation opportunities, and things like that, it does to that person when you return them back to society. And you know this person will not be able to deal with, being back in society and to cope and handle himself accordingly, as a law-abiding citizen, is because of the conditions you have subjected him to, the abuse you have subjected him to, the verbal, the mental, the physical abuse you have subjected him to. Like my brother said, he's been locked up 27 years. I've been locked up 23 years, and been a strong advocate, crying out, hoping somebody can hear you about, hey, prison is not right. This is a broken system. This is not the Department of Corrections. This is the Department of Corrections. There's no correcting or there's no attempt to correct them. In Alabama, they had, in this prison I'm in at Donaldson, they had 3 overdoses. Deaths in the last 9 days. Is that normal? No, it's not normal. To put a human being in, you see a person going out in the body bag once a month. That's not normal. That's not normal for a person's mental health. That's not normal for a person. So my goal was to reach out and start in the administration to agree with me in having basketball tournament, any kind of sports activities, anything that can guys come outside, more creative activities other than having ideas to hurt each other or want to get out of whatever. Let out the norms. You know what I'm saying? And that's a start. Say at the end of the day, you got to return these same people back to society that you have subjected to some of the worst, cruel, and unusual treatment and living conditions inhumane living conditions. They, right now in my dormitory, it's extremely hot. We got 4 working bands in dormitory now, 90-something people. 4 or 5 toilets. There are 90 people. I mean, you do the math. You tell me, do we have to wait in line just to use the toilet? Or wait in line just to brush your teeth? Wait in line just to take a shower? This is not right. Society needs to understand this. These are the same people that you have to try back to the club. And like I say, I pray that it's a treasure. We're going to continue to scream out. We're going to continue to cry out. We're going to continue to report it. We're going to take it, whatever being necessary. We're going to continue to get the word out that our prison conditions are, and the Attorney General and the Department of Justice has acknowledged that in the case of Alabama prison, because the federal government has filed a lawsuit against them. It has got to the point where it's unbearable. And even they that realize and acknowledge that. And that's where we at right now in Alabama, and this other state is very violent, Mississippi, and just the same. And we're going to continue to cry out. I just I don't try to hide my name or just be discreet about it. I file lawsuits. I do everything within my capabilities. And even in the face of retaliation, whatever. I feel like it's necessary. It's to the point where it can be life or death situation. It's just that uncontrollable.
So I actually have two questions for you. The first one being, I'm originally from Ohio, and our Department of Corrections is actually called the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. And I am not saying that Ohio is perfect, because Ohio has a lot of problems. But they do have rehabilitation programs, a lot of them. They have several programs in all the different prisons to help with rehabilitation. They even have, well, I will say this was pre-COVID. I'm not sure how this is being, re-implemented after COVID. They even had programs for families to keep families together and to have the kids still have a relationship with the parents. Like they had on Christmas where the kids got to come in and the dads were able to pick out presents and wrap them for their kids and give it to them. Does Alabama or Mississippi have any type of programs like that? And then also, due to these conditions, do you believe that people are leaving from the prison system with PTSD?
You addressing brother first, or which one is addressing?
I would like both of you to answer the question.
Okay, I can answer. In Alabama, we do have rehabilitation programs. They do is more of the enemy puts into it. I guess they can't learn anything, so we definitely can change the things of the nature. Probably not. Or you're waiting for crime, so the crime bill right now. Probably not. It's so. I don't know how to put it. People that they have to place about not taking out seriously. And so you see the steps of recovery or deliverance from life. And it's because they say that it's they're not in it. They will see another just to get online. I don't take it serious. That's not everything. And I have my home. And also counseling home. That come program that so yes, they are really good program, but the people in power have to do this as a very program.
I think he's having some connection issues. Nat, would you like to answer that question? And then I would like KO to answer about the PTSD, since he is just in the lead.
This is no thing with rehabilitation. That goes out to nothing as soon as you touch ground in this because every administrator, every case manager, organizer, captain, whatever, that tries to help inmates, they're going to either move them somewhere where they can't or try to get rid of them. So rehabilitation is not something that's going to happen no time soon unless we change the people that run the prison system. The PTSD, yeah, that is true. That's a fact. Because once you got guys that go through this prison system and they get treated the way they do, it causes a lot of problems, stress, depression, even anger. Sometimes you be so angry for the fact that all you thinking about is hurting the house or the administrator, whatever. It is a real big problem.
KO, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
So what do you think about being released? Has it been a hard transition from going from First off, how long were you incarcerated?
I was incarcerated for 10 years.
So was it a hard transition going from, being in prison to now being in the free world?
Kind of, sort of. I ain't gonna say hard, but it was kind of, it was a struggle in the beginning because, I was talking to the brother, man, and we have to make brothers aware that before they come home, to go ahead and file paperwork and try to get your social security card and ID, and, birth certificate, things of this nature. So when you come out, you just hit the ground running. You won't have nothing to hold you back because it kind of held me back from getting the job because I couldn't find my documents or whatever. But other than that, everything is really just the same, man. Just take it one day at a time and staying on the right path.
So, do they help you with any re-entry when you are being released? Do they assist you with getting your birth certificate or social security card?
The re-entry program where I was housed at, they did help me to get those documents, but I can't say my parole officer out here in the free world, he didn't assist me in getting it, but he did, point me in the right direction to obtain those documents.
Okay. Bernard, are you back with us?
Another thing I want to know.
Go ahead, Bernard.
You say I'm back?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right.
Now, were you trying to say something?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. KO, was that you?
Yes, ma'am. This is KO. I heard brother speaking about the living conditions in the prison system right now, and and I have witnessed some of those same living conditions. And when I was in Woodville, and I was involved in the class action suit where me and 6 other guys were had to live in sewage infested, our cell just had rocks all over our cell for like 2 straight weeks with no running water, no showers, no anything, no help from the administration. And luckily I had a line of communication where I could call to the free world and get outside help. They had people calling, concerned about us, and finally got the problem resolved. But just the point of having to go through those type of conditions, where you have to actually sleep in the cell and got feces and urine all over your floor and all over your property and everywhere. To be subjected to them type of conditions to where you can't even eat. You can't even eat it when you're in a room full of feces. How can you eat? But man, I'm just praying for you brothers, man. I'm doing whatever I can out here from the free world, man, to push for y'all, man. That's what I'm out here for. Appreciate it.
And Nat, you were telling me about that, about bad plumbing at one of the institutions, right? Where the shower won't turn off.
Right. Those are even correct.
Yeah, there was something else that I had reported to us through our research team that in Unit 1 at East Meridian, Zone B has been without air. It's broke, and the administration is saying that they won't fix it until September. But yet they don't have any fans, and they're not able to purchase any fans. But I think we're seeing that all across Mississippi and Alabama.
It's like they try to save money by
I know we've heard that in Wilkinson, there's not air signs, but just even with certain areas, and then it's just cold in there. And that's
Right.
actually really hot. Bernard, what is it like in Alabama? Are you guys dealing with the heat issue there also?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, of course, most definitely in Alabama. And yeah, we're dealing with a lot of issues. Poor ventilation, circulation. Now, I started to take pictures out the ceiling. We got dust particles falling off the ceiling. It's like if you ever seen a home where it's like it hasn't been dusted in like over 20 years or so. That's how the ceiling looks. Spider webs, old spider webs falling. The ventilation system has a lot of dust built up. No fans. I mean, for central commercial centers, but we do have the large fans that up top in the building. I guess it's to circulate air too, but it still does a poor job at it. And inmates are hot, and then what the standard operation procedure for that is also supposed to come by when it's extreme temperatures like we experience throughout the United States. They supposed to come by and do a temperature check, a cell check, a dormitory check of the temperature. And if it's a certain height, then you get inmates a lot of ice water, a lot of Gatorade, you get fluids. And none of that goes on in Alabama. None of that goes on. Unless maybe if an inmate dies, so then they'll start taking it serious. But we want to prevent that. We want to take measures. We want to take steps to prevent it before it results in a death. And right now, Alabama, they are not doing that.
And actually, didn't that just happen recently in Alabama? Didn't somebody die from hyperthermia in the SHU?
Okay, we just had a death at the facility I'm in, honestly. But the cause is unknown because they don't tell the public, so we are not sure. Maybe the family will find out if they do an autopsy, but they definitely won't let us know.
No, this is like a month or two ago. It was actually in the news about it, where I could be wrong because I don't have the article in front of me, but I want to say his temperature, like his core temperature, had reached like 109 degrees.
You know what facility in Alabama?
No, I'm not sure. I remember that it actually, where I heard it from was the actual news, like the Alabama news.
Yeah, it's sad. We just had a death here Monday, and I'm still trying to break my neck to figure out what the cause of the death was. A little young 27-year-old guy died this past Monday, and these deaths are so, they just try to keep up on the radar. And if it wasn't for them reported on their website, the public would not know. And the cause of death, sometimes we don't know. We do know we experience a lot of heat, a lot of temperatures, and you're dealing with people that suffer from mental illness, that take medication. That's a dangerous situation because the severe medication they take causes them, to be in cool temperature, and a lot of them are not.
I just found that information, Bernard. He died. His name was Tommy Lee Rutledge. He was 44. He died in December, so he died in winter. His cell was 101 degrees, and his body temperature was 109, and that was in the winter. So imagine how hot these cells are getting in the summer. That was this year, but it looks like there was another heat death back in 2010, and they actually settled on that for $750,000. So this has happened multiple times in Alabama where people have died from hyperthermia.
And you would think it would make them want to fix the ventilation, but they claim they don't have the money to, or at least add a host of fans. You need to put so many fans here where there's no single area or line or row of inmate beds like that can't feel the fans. You would think that they would do that.
But they have no need to build new prisons, because isn't Alabama trying to build new prisons?
Exactly. Yes, they are. Even though they lost support from every bank that was about to sponsor them. Thank God to the young college kids who believe in investing in community and not prison facilities. They believe in invest back in the public and not the prison facility. So they invest in rehabilitation instead of holding people in prison for the rest of their life. Invest in training, where it counts.
And they also recently had a guy who got killed a day before his release, right? Do you know about that?
In Alabama?
Yes, in Alabama.
No, ma'am, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, I would have to Google it to figure out which institution it was. But yes, there was a guy who was murdered in a cell a day before he was supposed to be released.
Was that this year?
Yes, that was this year.
Okay, I think that's a separate lawsuit that the Department of Justice filed. They filed 2 lawsuits. It was a few homicides in 1 month at a facility called Bullock. And the violence there, and that's one of the facilities I've been to. And when you got a facility like that, that facility is so dangerous because of the security. When you got 1 or 2 officers trying to watch 400, 500 inmates, it's impossible. Same thing going on at Donaldson right now. No officers want to work here. Matter of fact, the prison is called Weavy Donaldson because it's named after a correctional guard who was murdered. No officers want to work here, and when they do fill out applications to work here, that's the first thing that's brought to their attention. Hey, a correctional guard was murdered. There are like maybe 5, 6 officers trying to watch 700, 800 inmates. You know, it's impossible. You know, and thank God that we have formed a group where we're trying to take matters in our own hand to stop the violence, program, keep the peace program, sports activities. A lot of things I've sponsored. The ward has just promoted me as commissioner of all sports activities because he likes the things that I do. I give donations out of my own money to give to winners of basketball tournaments and things like that. Just trying to do whatever I can to get inmates to stop hurting one another, stop getting high, relying on getting high and doing things to ease the pain in that fast to bring about change. And it's working, and like I say, it might be little actions, but it's having big progress, big results. And that's what we need in Alabama, and I'm pretty sure Mississippi.
But it's not just violent crimes like inmates against inmates. The CEO of assault inmates, like in Ohio, back, I don't know, I think it was in February, there was a CEO altercation with a guy at the CRC institution, and they killed him. He died. And they just ruled his death a homicide, and they have just charged the correction officers involved. But the thing is, it might hit the news for a minute, but it don't get the type of publicity as if it would have been opposite. If it would have been opposite, it probably would have been on national news. But yet, it's like they kind of sweep it under the rug.
Because we are inmates, sympathize with inmates. Just being honest, we are convicted felons. We are criminals. Now, in God's eyes and the protection of the law says we ought to be treated fairly regardless of breaking the law. But society, most of society, until society start caring that, hey man, we're still human beings and we transgress the law, things of that degree. But until society realizes that you don't supposed to brutalize and devastate these men, if you don't supposed to murder them, until they start caring, then we are in bad shape.
Right.
What else to add to it? I've been beat several times. I've been hog-tied. I had both of my eyes closed. I've had my ribs cracked. I had filed several lawsuits in response, and some of these things were just done in retaliation because I was protesting living conditions. I was crying out against the abusive officer, and in response, I was getting beat for it. Even this year, I went on a hunger strike 2 weeks. Me and 12 other guys in January. And during the hunger strike, we was threatened and to come off the hunger strike. And when we did, one of us was severely beaten. And pictures was taken and sent out to the news media, out there, people like that. And until then, when the public became well aware and it made national news, then we felt a little level of protection. But the prison officials want to do things their way, and they don't want society to intervene in how they run prison. Because it's how they get their check. They install fear in inmates, and they use force, whether it be necessary or excessive. And that's just how it is. And until our lives start mattering, like I say, to the public, we'll continue to remain in danger. That's why it's so important for us and the brothers that just got out to continue to spread the message. When I get released, I would never put this behind me. Never. I don't care how long I've done a prison, how long I've been out. I can never forget this experience. 23 years right now to the day locked up. 14 and a half years in segregation was fine. I can never forget that. And I just thank God that He has restored me to the point where I'm mentally incompetent, mentally ill as a result of the long segregation time and the freestyle certificate. And it's all because of God that kept my mind. But I would never forget this experience. I'll never continue to fight for justice for the inmate. As well as people in society who acknowledge racial injustice as well. For the inmates, people don't care nothing about they can die one day and be towed down the body bag, and it's never even an issue, never even brought up to the public. That's what scares me. Hello?
Nate, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to any of that?
No, I ain't had it.
KO. So, what is your plans now that you're free? How do you plan on helping fight for the people that are still incarcerated?
Basically, I'm just being a voice. I'm staying in tune with the guys, with all the comrades that's behind the walls. I'm staying in tune with any type of problems that they have, or any type of injustice, or any type of justice that they seek it. They can just call on me, man. I'm here and I'm doing whatever possible, to push on their behalf. So basically, I'm just, you can utilize me in whatever shape, form possible that I can be used in. Like, I'm here, I'm a willing and able body, financially, and mostly I'm here physically. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting the streets, I'm letting people know, I'm putting the message out there, and I'm staying in tune. That's basically all I can do. I'm giving it 110%. Plus what I got going on out here, trying to, establish myself, more and get my life taken care of.
Matt, can you tell us a little bit more about Mississippi?
It's like, they hire a lot of young people here. There's a lot of good people here. Dissuade inmates from complaining and stuff. That's a known fact. And a lot of people in Mississippi, they're like, okay, they let us get away with some of the contraband in the system that they didn't content with addressing their concerns. And that's a big problem in Mississippi also. Every prison you go to, you're going to find that. You got a lot of contraband, a lot of phones, and guys that got this, they content with how they live it. If you have fun, they're not. And it's very few of the ones that are not content that are speaking out. And I'm one of them. And sometimes you have a situation where you have guys that's content with the way they live it, or trying to stop the one that's not content for speaking out. And that's the problem. It's very common. So I have had guy retaliation on me for speaking out. Staff members, prison staff members retaliate me speaking out. I got kicked out of a lot of prisons that I've been in because I spoke out. I had my family call up here, friends call up here. Prison.
Well, I guess, did anybody else have anything else they would like to discuss tonight?
I meant to send Brooks that the names of those facilities and the dorms that got issues of air quality. And I meant to send that so we can. And another guy was in my inbox who also separated from y'all research team that he wanted asking me about heat and air ventilation problems. Whether we experienced them in Alabama also. I sent them information too. But definitely try to get the word out about the prison in Alabama, not just ventilation. So there's a hosting issue. The COVID issue, it hasn't really went away. 3 of us got our shots and trying to take measures to reduce the sickness and death that's still going on, that's still unreported, whatever. And I need to do that, and I want to try to get that information to books. And hopefully we can keep doing what we're doing now. The word just get out quickly, because every minute is every minute wasted. A life is taken or a life is lost. When it comes to that, that's about pretty much what I got to add.
Keo, did you have anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, basically, I just wanted to say, man, all you guys, man, that is and they're behind the wall, man, stay prayerful, man, and stay alert, man. It, like bro said, any minute wasted, can be a life taken, and the injustice that they subject to while they in there, like you said, shake down, they can come in, and the search team can come in and hit somebody with a stick or slam somebody the wrong way or anything, man. You got viruses and all type of inhumane living conditions. So you subject to any type of illnesses. So just stay prayerful, man, and just y'all guys stick together in there, man. And like I said, if y'all can utilize me in any way, just contact me. I left my contact information for everybody, man. Y'all just hit me up. And I'm here, man. I'm praying for y'all, man. Y'all stay strong, stay safe, stay alert, stay alive.
Sorry. Right.
Matt, did you want to say anything else? Okay, I think we have somebody with their hand up. We have the caller with us.
Yes. How everybody doing tonight? I was just wondering, just for being on the outside and some of you brothers being on the inside, like, how is it can we connect? How is it that we can connect? What would you all suggest as being the first step to us getting some kind of adjustment? Because with this podcast right here, it's giving y'all an outlet that, within the past year or so, there has been a lot of, communicating from the inside to the out. But with this podcast, what are the goals? What are the goals that you all seek to put us on out here in the world? Like the Word of Brother said, that he just got out, and he's a willing and able body. So it's like, for guys such as him, such as myself, what is it that we can do to assist y'all in this?
Well, to answer that, I would say continue to put the message out. And most important, in my opinion, aside to know, it is important how we are treated and what we go through here, because most of us will return. I think particularly 90% of the inmates incarcerated will at some point return back to society. So we want to do society good, not bad, and the treatment, which is not good, can dictate, some guys, not all, some of our exes, what we do return back to the street. And that's not important. Like, I might see a lot of guys not get released, and I'm like, man, he's not ready. Okay, and it's because of the lack of opportunity, the lack of rehabilitation, the lack of mental health treatment, the lack of also a lot of self-awareness, a person not finding themselves, not taking responsibility enough to acknowledge their wrong, the crime they did or whatever they did in that case, and not referring to those who are convicted unlawfully. But it's just the treatment in general. Prison makes you worse or better, and treatment has a big role in that. So getting the message out is the one big step if you want to know, what steps you can do to help to bring in awareness to people, and when that was brought, I think it was brought to the Congress years ago, like inmates having a hard time getting jobs, they made a deal saying that, hey, you should get tax cuts to people that hire better. And that was a good step. But it takes a lot more than that. That was a good step because that makes it not so difficult for inmates to get a job and get back and try to get on his feet. But bring this to awareness to people in positions of power, senators, governors, and things like that, so that they can acknowledge, hey, man, we need to correct our prison system and get ready to return these people home to their families where they should belong, where they belong. Now, pass with that.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, so I guess we don't have any other callers right now. So I will just go ahead and give some updates on the National Flood Coalition. All of the other podcasts will resume starting next week. On Monday, we have The Low Behind Bars, and that'll be on Monday at 8 o'clock. On Tuesday, we will have Plus TV, and that will also be at 8 o'clock. Wednesday will be Live and Straight Out of Parchman, again, 8 o'clock, and then Plus News on Friday, 8 o'clock, and that is all Central Time. So make sure you tune into those. Free the Guys will be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday at the same time at 8. We also are looking for assistance in multiple areas of the organization. If anybody's good with correspondence, emails, we're also building our research team and our legislation team. So if you like billing legislation and trying to dissect bills and write your own bill proposals, then hit us up. We can definitely use you on our legislation team. Even if you're behind bars and you have extra time and you want to do something, you can join our research team. And the way to contact us is by our page on Facebook, the National Plus Coalition, or you can email us at events@thenationalpluscoalition.com. So did anyone else want to?
I appreciate you for inviting me on, and I'm willing to come on at any given time. We need a voice out there. Mississippi was in the news a year ago, devastating, violence. Alabama's in the news right now. Just sad issues, just a lot going on. This is a serious issue, serious matter, and people like y'all, people that care, that listen in, people that want some change. We need more inmates, family members, my family members, other people's family members get involved. It's going to take a whole bunch of people to really bring about change, put people in positions of power where they can make things happen. We need a lot of this here to go on. And you can count me in, and I'm going to do my part, and I'm going to continue to fight. If there's no more fight in me, I end with that. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I know some people out there listen, we need y'all help, It's tough, Fight, we can't fight alone. We need all the help we can. If you able, it's going to make no difference what you do. Another phone call, research, no matter what. We just need all the help we can.
Maria, you on the show? Maria Brooks. Yeah, I'll close out. Maria, you know when we'll be back on the show? Anybody know what, next week? I want to bring up some other issues and steps of what we can do, you know, from the inside. The guys that are still on the inside, thank God for put on the outside. The guys on the inside to take action, immediate action to and positive steps, whether it be peaceful protests or whatever it takes to demand that, you know, we be treated humanely, you know, that our living conditions change, you know, that you do not house us in like animals or like we are not human beings and things like that. What steps we can do? We had a few rallies back in 2014 that showed a positive effect, but it didn't last. It didn't last that long. But if we would have held out, you know, it could have brought about some big changes. So I just got some ideas what the inmates can do to have peaceful protest on the inside that can bring about change and gain the support of the public. Because we definitely need the public. And there are a lot of people that support the Plus Coalition, the Free Alabama Movement, and a lot of other organizations that started from inside prisons. A lot of people are concerned about how prisons are treated because we are human beings. You know, a lot of us, we are not the worst of the worst. A lot of us have a conscience, we have feelings, we have emotions, we are human beings, we love, you know, just like anybody else, you know, and we need y'all support. And we need the inmates on the inside to start taking action, doing what you can. You know, you can be used in any area. You know, it don't matter if you're locked up away, you can still be used in some form of area to bring some kind of positive progress, you know, that'll bring about change in our situation. And I learned that here. And I didn't suffer the consequences of retaliation. I didn't been through all that. It don't matter with me. I'm willing to continue to fight, you know, whatever it takes. So with that being said, I guess we'll close out until 2 more weeks. What I've been told, if I'm not mistaken, 2 more weeks we'll be back on the air, and I want to bring some of those ideas to the attention of the inmates. What can we do? Hunger strikes, I've been through that, done that. I saw how effective that is. A lot of people don't agree with it. It's very effective, and it's not life-threatening. You know, I'm not saying starve yourself to death, but, you know, what can we do as inmates to take action so that our abuse and treatment ends? That, turn it back over to the host to close out.
Sorry about that. I had some connection issues, but I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our guest, KO, for being on tonight, and of course our other hosts, Brother Bernard and Brother Nat Turner. And tune in 2 weeks. You guys have a great night.